Hi everybody. We are going to talk about şimdiki zaman today, which is basically present continuous tense. How it works? It works with the root of the verb, fiil kökü, and the suffix ıyor. You may ask why we put this little fella ı between accolades. Because, do you remember this vowel harmony rules? This ı may change according to this vowel harmony rules. Don't worry, we will talk about it later within our video session. So, let's continue what we are talking about with this şimdiki zaman tense. So, şimdiki zaman, as we said, present continuous tense, is telling us what we are doing now. I am going to school. I am drinking water. I'm talking about şimdiki zaman. Here we are. This is what I was telling you about this vowel harmony. When it comes to şimdiki zaman, what was this vowel harmony about? When the last syllable of the word has a open vowel like a, ı, then the suffix has to start with another open vowel like ı. If the last syllable of the word has a close vowel like e, I, then the suffix has to start with a close vowel like I. In our şimdiki zaman, present continuous tense, there is one more extra stuff, which is if the last syllable of the verb root has a, ı, then the suffix yor has to start with ı. If the last syllable of the verb root has close vowel e, I, then the suffix yor has to start with I, which is also another close vowel. If the last syllable of the verb root has the open vowel o, u, then our şimdiki zaman suffix yor has to start with u. If the last syllable of our root verb has this close vowel ö, ü, then our şimdiki zaman suffix yor has to start with another close vowel ü. Let's have some examples so then we understand better. For example, for the first rule, this is our verb root, yap, which is basically yapmak, doing, to do. What we do here is, excuse me, we get rid of the mastar, mak, we take the root, yap, do, and then what do we have here? An open vowel, a. What do we have to have? I, before the suffix. Say it again. Yap, ıyor. Say together. Yapıyor. He is doing. O yapıyor. When it comes to this second example with the closed vowel, sev, What was that? You remember? Love. Sevmek. To love. What do we have here? Here we go. We have a closed vowel. E. Sev. Then what do we need to have? We need to have E, because this is also a closed vowel. Then let's say it together. Seviyor. Seviyor. She loves. Seviyor. Here we have vur. Vurmak. We get rid of the mastar. We take only the root. Vur. Vur. What do we have here? U. This is an open vowel. Then we have to have U, because it's also an open vowel. Vur, uyor, vuruyor. Vuruyor. O vuruyor. The last rule, if we have ö within our last syllable of our verb root, then it has to start with ü. Öp. Öpmek. To kiss. Öp. Üyor. Öpüyor. He kisses. Öpüyor. Okay. Let's start to conjugate our verbs. I chose this verb for you guys, which is smiling. We need to smile more and more nowadays, don't we? It makes us feel better, huh? Okay, so this is what I was trying to tell you. We are going to conjugate this verb gülmek within positive way. So we will conjugate it, I smile, you smile, and etc. So what we do, it's very simple. This is our mastar, which is in English basically to smile. You already know we add as a suffix to our verb root. So this is the root, gülmek, to smile. We take the root, here is our root, and then we add our şimdiki zaman suffix, present continuous tense suffix. You may think this as a ing suffix, okay? So, gülüyor. Who is smiling? She is smiling, or he is smiling. But you already know that we do not have he or she differences as a gender for all. So, what we are doing here, we also learned kişi ekleri, personal suffixes before, right? You know that. Kişi zamirleri as well. So within our different videos. Here we do like this. This is the root, gül. This is our suffix for the present continuous tense, gülüyor. Okay, now you need to ask the question. Who is smiling? Kim gülüyor? Ben gülüyorum. This is for the first person. Gülüyorum. Ben gülüyorum. You do the same thing for the second person. Here is the root. Here is the ing, let's say. Gülüyor. Okay, who is gülüyor? Kim gülüyor? Sen gülüyorsun. This is for you guys. Sen gülüyorsun. Now it comes to o, which is in English he or she. You already know that we do not have any suffix for this case. O gülüyor. We also do not have any gender differences for this case. Now it comes to us. Biz gülüyor, uz. Biz gülüyoruz. You probably already noticed, right? We keep the basic always the same. We just change the personal suffixes. Now it comes to you. You also remember our first video, I hope. In Turkish, we have two different you. You for one person, sen, here we go. And you for plural people, here we go. Like if there are more than one person. And also if you are talking to your elderlies, if you are talking to your boss, if you are talking to someone that you respect, then here you say siz. This is also you in English. So here you keep the same, the root, the suffix for present continuous, şimdiki zaman, and then you add the personal suffix, which is gülüyorsunuz. Kim gülüyor? Siz gülüyorsunuz. Then the plural. Onlar, which is basically they. They are smiling. Onlar, here again, the root, the suffix for the present continuous, and the suffix for the person. I know it sounds a little confusing at the beginning, but when you continue to make more examples, then it will be kind of becoming a reflex for you guys. So you say ben gülüyorum, sen gülüyorsun, o gülüyor, biz gülüyoruz, siz gülüyorsunuz, onlar gülüyorlar. This is wonderful, isn't it? Everybody is smiling. So now let's talk about not smiling case, the negative one. This is also very easy. You'll see what I'm talking. Here we go. We always start with the root. This is the basic rule. Then what we do is the root. This one is our negative suffix. This comes right after the root. And it's basically me, gülme. So if I will tell you directly, if I don't want you to smile, I will tell you, gülme, don't smile, gülme. But here I will continue to add more stuff here, which is our ing, the şimdiki zaman suffix, present continuous suffix. So here you remember our basic rule, the vowel harmony. In our vowel harmony, this will be very, very funny sound. Let me tell you. Gülmüyor. Gülmüyor. Who is not smiling? O gülmüyor. We cannot say that. What happens because, excuse me, we have ü, this letter here becomes ü. So we'd say gülmüyor, gülmüyor, gülmüyor. Who is not smiling? O gülmüyor. Kim gülmüyor? O gülmüyor. Let's conjugate together, okay? So, the very same basic rule applies here as well. The root, the negative suffix. So, the question is, kim gülmüyor? Ben gülmüyorum. This one is our personal suffix. Ben gülmüyorum. The second question. Gülmüyor. Who is gülmüyor? Kim gülmüyor? Sen gülmüyorsun. This one is the suffix for you. Sen gülmüyorsun. O gülmüyor. There is no suffix for o. You already know that. Biz gülmüyoruz. Siz, this is the plural for you, gülmüyorsunuz. Onlar gülmüyorlar. So, what we do is, in Turkish, we use suffixes to change the nature of the verb. So you already understand that much, I guess, right? So we do not have prefixes, we have suffixes. So we add to the root of the verb in order to explain what is the case with our situation. So if we are not smiling, so we keep the root, we add the negative suffix first, and then we add the tense suffix, and then now you see what we are going to do. We are going to ask questions. Here we go. This one is the positive question. What we said? First, the root. And then our present continuous tense şimdiki zaman suffix. So we say gülüyor. Now we're going to ask question. Mu. This is the question suffix. Gülüyor mu? Gülüyor mu? O gülüyor mu? Let's start to let us start to conjugate this verb together within a positive question. So when you ask ben gülüyor muyum? You probably noticed this old friend here. Yes, Y letter, or for the French friends, let's say Y letter. This is a helping letter to help us to pronounce this two vowel together case. Let me try to explain what I'm saying. If we say gülüyor muyum, sounds crazy and terrible. So that's the reason why we use this helping letter Y to make it better to pronounce. So gülüyor muyum versus gülüyor muyum. It's impossible. So this is the reason why we are using this Y letter to make it sound better. So here we say first again verb root, then our present continuous tense suffix, then the question suffix, and then personal suffix. This is the one for me, I. Ben gülüyor muyum? This is generally the sentence we use when we are coming across with our kids, right? I mean, when they make something wrong and then we say, am I smiling here? Ben gülüyor muyum? So then probably the kid makes something more funny and then we all start to smile together, and most probably it ends with laughing more than smiling. And then the second one. Sen gülüyor musun? Here again, root, şimdiki zaman suffix, the question suffix, and then personal suffix. And this one we generally use in our classrooms when we are really get angry and there's too much noise in the classroom, and then, sometimes we say to our students, sen gülüyor musun? So hopefully we do not need this too much, but sometimes we need, to be honest, right? So this one is o. O gülüyor mu? Of course we have a question mark for all of it, right? Then biz. Biz gülüyor muyuz? Here we go. Here again, another helping letter we have. Siz gülüyor musunuz? This one is for they. Are they smiling? Onlar gülüyorlar mı? Here there is one irregular case. You probably noticed that. This is little difficult probably to explain why, but this is something that you need to remember, memorize. We do not say onlar gülüyor mılar. Instead, we change the place. I mean, normally with the other cases, what we did, we put the root first and then the şimdiki zaman suffix and then the question and then the personal suffix. Here, instead of gülüyor mılar, we say gülüyorlar mı? This is something you have to remember. Please do not ask me why. This is just a rule that you have to remember. One more thing that you have to memorize, this is something about writing rule. You need to write this separately. You do not write them together. I mean, what I say is gülüyor mu? So this one has to be separate from the word. You also have to remember this one, okay, as a rule. So let's keep moving here. This one is a negative question. Gülmüyor mu? The other one was gülüyor mu? Is he smiling? This one is doesn't he smiling? Gülmüyor mu? Now, what we do, I know it's very confusing. Please forgive me, but this is the case. Just try to make more and more examples and questions and okay, so try to read stuff and then it will come naturally, promise. And it's not that difficult as it sounds, okay? So, let me explain what is this about. Here we go. First of all, again, we have the root. Then, you remember this negative suffix, me. But of course, because we have ü, it will change to ü as well. So, gülmüyor. And then, the question suffix. Gülmüyor mu? Gülmüyor mu? O gülmüyor mu? Now we need to conjugate this, of course. Ben. When it is the first one, ben gülmüyor muyum? What happened here? It is exactly the same as the positive one. The only difference we have, we just add our negative suffix between the root and our present continuous tense suffix, şimdiki zaman suffix, right? Sen gülmüyor musun? O gülmüyor mu? Excuse me. This one is biz. Biz gülmüyor muyuz? Siz gülmüyor musunuz? This mu, these are the questions one, right? Onlar gülmüyorlar mı? Here again, you see? First the personal suffix, then the question one. This is something that you really have to memorize, okay? You can't tell gülmüyor mılar. This will be kind of funny. They will understand that you are a foreigner. Don't do that, guys. You have to memorize this. That's all you have to do, okay? So, let's have some more examples to have more, let's say, verb and to memorize and to comprehend. Here we go. What was the case? Also to kind of wrap up what we were talking, what we have been talking about. We talked about vowel harmony. We said that this is a little bit more in detail when it comes to vowel harmony. If we have a, I in our last syllable of our verb root, then the present continuous tense suffix has to start with I. For example, do, yap, yapıyor. When we change it into negative, instead of yapmıyor, we also change this a into yapmıyor. When we have e in our last syllable of the verb root, then it also starts with e, like seviyor, seviyor. When we change it into negative, instead of sevmiyor, we change into sevmiyor, sevmiyor. If we have o, u in our last syllable of the verb root, then the suffix needs to start with u, vuruyor. When we use our negative suffix, instead of vurmuyor, it needs to change into u, vurmuyor. If we have ö, ü in our syllable, then the suffix needs to start with ü, like here, öpüyor. And the negative öpmüyor turns into öpmüyor, öpmüyor. Here we have the entire table. Let's have a quick look just to refresh what we have been talking about all together. I'm not going to repeat or read them together. Just I'll keep it for a few seconds. You may need to stop or pause. Then you can check it out. I know it was little too long and little too confusing in many cases, but then the tenses are always the tricky ones. But still I'm hoping that I was kind of helpful for you guys, and this video was kind of helpful. And until the next video, see you, and be nice, be good, be safe. Have a nice day. Bye.